Happy Monday, you beauty. I'm tired. How are you doing?
I'm tired too, but you can't be as tired as you working on your day off a couple of weeks before Christmas, delivering packages and stuff. You're almost like
hmm
Santa.
Had about 120 stops today, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and got up at had to be there at 6 and just got home at about 5:30 or so. So it
Holy
was a, it
cow.
was a, it was a long day, but
And
uh
Mondays are usually your day off too.
yeah, that was the hard part.
Yeah.
That was really was the hard part.
Yeah. That's brutal.
But it is the time of year for my line of work, so
That's good.
I'll
Good. Good.
making good money, so
Yeah. Good pay. That's good.
exactly. And I mean, I went into it in a pretty good mood because what a weekend for the boys.
Yeah. Three.
Continuing their winning streak up to 9 games now, which I think is one shy of their record for like
Is it
most
really?
wins. I think it was 10 that COVID year, I
Yeah.
think. Um, but yeah, obviously boys are playing some really good hockey right now and hoping that can continue. I mean, we got another game coming up this weekend against Seattle with a chance to go to 10 wins in a row and just kind of all around great contributions from everybody.
Yeah. Very, very well rounded this last 3 games over the weekend.
I thought the game in Wenatchee on Friday night was really good overall. I thought
It was.
everybody played how they needed to play and everybody contributed. I thought that the first line was obviously, I mean, the first line had themselves hell of a game.
Yeah.
Catton 3 assists, Shea Van Olm with the first career hat trick. Braden Crampton had 4 assists.
Yeah.
Cowan had 26 saves and made some huge stops, especially when Wenatchee kind of pressured us a little bit early. Uh, Overall, I mean, the Chiefs are just playing really consistent, good hockey right now.
Yeah. They are. They were fun to watch.
And Rass is playing great. That those first two lines have really stepped up. They've had a little bit of a dry spell for a little bit
Hmm.
after having hot starts to the season, but I really like that second line with Ekstrom, Redmond, and Oremba.
Yeah.
Oremba's been hot lately. Once he got that first goal as a Chief, he got the monkey off his back. He's been tearing it up.
Yeah.
Um,
He definitely looks more comfortable out there.
yeah, for sure. And I think that the more that continues, the more success that Redmond and Ekstrom are going to have too. Because I think
Yeah.
that's he's kind of a guy that can, give that energy fed off to his
Hmm.
line mates and stuff too. So, um, really liking what I'm seeing right now. I mean, I don't even know what else to say.
No, there's nothing to say. It's 9 in a row is good. We have not seen this in a very long time.
How refreshing is it? I
Nice to
mean,
see him getting hot right before the break too.
yeah, for sure. And not the thing that sucks is that you're going to go into this break and you're going to have a week or 10 days off or whatever it is and you got to come back on the 27th and hope that it kind of picks up where it left off. Obviously, there's probably going to be a little bit of rust again, but I'm sure some of the boys will be skating back home still and
Oh yeah,
um
I just feel like things could be a little bit different with this team. They're going to come back just juiced and wanting to keep it going too. I think.
yeah, and that was kind of a talking point that I was thinking today that we could talk a little bit about. It's like if these guys keep playing the way that they are and they keep winning, are we gonna add?
Don't no, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, but I don't know.
I still think that we could use a defenseman. I don't really know what's out there right now. I mean, I have a couple of players in mind that when I asked on the group earlier some questions was brought up a good option of a defenseman that we could potentially make a trade for. And I was trying to think of like potential trade packages in my head, but I couldn't really think of anything too crazy because I was so slammed at work today. Um, but yeah, anyway, going back to the recaps. I mean, Friday night was just great. Chiefs picked up a 6-2 win in Wenatchee, the first of a home and home. Wenatchee got on the board pretty early in the game, and then after that, it was all Chiefs. Shea Van Olm took over in the first period with 2 goals, and then no scoring in the second period, and then it was all Chiefs again in the third. Scored 4 goals in the third period, including two in the first 2 minutes of the third period. Um, Ekstrom and then Van Olm picking up his first career hat trick. And then Chase Harrington got a goal about halfway through the third period. and then Ekstrom again on the power play toward the end of the game to pick up his second of the night. What a rifle that shot
Yeah,
was. I mean, him from that OV spot over there in the
yeah,
corner on the power play is
yeah. I
pretty.
like watching him shoot from there.
It's nice seeing him being more confident too. I
Yeah,
feel
he shoots
like,
a lot more than he did last year.
I talked to his dad every once in a while on Facebook, and he was saying that he's a natural center, and when he's playing center, he feels a lot
Hmm.
more comfortable with his game all around and stuff too.
Hmm.
And honestly, now that he's back to playing center on the second line with Redmond and Oremba, you can definitely tell that he's
Yeah,
more confident in his
yeah,
game. Yeah,
definitely.
he's definitely more comfortable, and it's really showing. And that's exactly what these guys need. And I think Brad Lauer is doing a hell of a job of finding those matches on the
Hmm.
lines and stuff too. And he's still not afraid to shake it up.
Yeah,
Um, see, was the first line Friday night was Ulmer, Catton, and Preston, and then Saturday and Sunday switch it up, throw Preston on the third line,
yeah.
and then Sarkinov up on the top line. And I thought Sarky played great on
Sorry,
the
looked
top
good on
line too.
that. Kid's got some hands. He's a pretty soft hands a skater for a big guy.
Yeah, and he's not shy to go to the net either. And that's another
No.
thing that a good mix to have on your top line
Yeah,
with,
yeah,
with Catton being Catton, we know how good he is, and Ulmer's having a hell of a year. And he obviously Ulmer is not afraid to go to the net. He's a great all-around two-way player. But having a guy like Sarkinov, who's like, a big boy, six
yeah,
four and 200 pounds, not afraid to get to the net and get to the dirty areas, and that kind of, once you have all those players collapsing trying to cover the guy crashing in the net, you're going to leave Cat or Ulmer wide open too.
yeah.
And so that's another thing that I think that's another sign of good coaching.
Yeah, it definitely gave that line a different look, but there's no drop off at all.
No, there wasn't. I was a little bit concerned about that because I actually think that Preston looked really, really good on the
Yeah,
top line on Friday night.
he did.
But he even fit in fine on the fourth line
Yeah,
on Saturday against Wenatchee as well. So yeah, a great start to the weekend on Friday, and then the second half of the home and home on Saturday against Wenatchee. A lot closer of a game than
it
the
was.
the
It was a
night
good game.
before. It was a very, very good game. Um, Teddy
Coach
Bear,
Johnny Knockbar coming back to Spokane.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
Pretty
always
cool,
liked Coach Knockbar.
pretty good standing, not standing ovation, but pretty good ovation from the crowd.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously he was here for I think 7 or 8 years, so he had a
winningest coach
pretty,
in Spokane history.
yeah, he had a pretty long tenure here, and
Yeah,
Coach Tyler Johnson in his final season in Spokane, and
yeah,
all that stuff. So it was cool to see him back behind the bench in Spokane for sure. But um, Saturday night, Teddy Bear Toss night at the arena, about 9,500 fans. I came out looking sharp again. Got the Teddy Bear goal early like we wanted to, because I feel
mm,
like that can kind of, the boys obviously they want to get that going, and then you got to keep that pressure up the rest of the game after you get the goal too. So I'm glad
yeah.
that we got it out of the way early, and got all the festivities and the fun out of the way. Sam Oremba picking up his second straight Teddy Bear Toss goal, as he was talking about on the radio. He got it in Regina the year before as well. So
Mr. Teddy Bear.
that's pretty cool for him. And again, goes to show kids playing his ass off right now, and
Yeah,
I think that he's finally found some chemistry with his line mates and just the team overall, and it's showing.
yeah.
He's being very successful.
He's rolling right now.
So yeah, the Teddy Bear goal about halfway through the first period, assisted by Chase Harrington and Owen Shetler. Um, and then it ended 1-0 at the first intermission, and Wenatchee came out and scored two in the second period to take a 2-1 lead. Not obviously not Cowan's fault. A little bit of a defensive breakdown on the power
Yeah,
play for the first goal, and then they ended up picking up another one a couple minutes later. Berkeley Catton with a nice play on a 2-on-1 with Shea Van Olm, a nice little give and go
yeah,
to tie it back up at two going into the third period. And then Chiefs power play stays hot with their second power play goal of the game. Hayden Papanicus, what a great passing play.
yes, it was.
That second power play unit has been really
They've
impressing
been
me
looking
the
really good for
last,
the last 4 or 5 games. Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say the last 5 or 6 games or so. That line is Papanicus, Oremba, Preston, God, who am I missing? Shetler
But
and Harrington.
yeah,
I mean, they have been so solid, and the little
they really moved the puck well.
they move the puck really well, and then they open up that bumper for either
Yes.
Oremba or Poppy, and it works wonders. And
Yeah.
again, a great play, pressing on the right side down low to Oremba, who dished it to Poppy wide open out front and
Yeah.
banged it home. Ended up being the eventual game winner. And Dawson Cowan's second game in a row, just a great performance, 33 saves. I think he's 2 games ahead, leading the league in wins right now for
Is he really? Nice.
goaltenders. He's absolutely killing it. And then with the Chiefs going 2 for 4 on the power play, they moved ahead of Prince Albert. They have the top power play in the Western Hockey League right now,
Nice.
and I believe they still have the second best penalty kill behind
Nice.
Wenatchee as well. So, when Wenatchee has the top penalty kill in the league, and we're scoring 2 goals, that and goes to show how good our power play
Yeah.
is and can be when they, stick to the systems and do
Yeah.
do their thing. And they're playing with confidence right now, and that's what you like to see.
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Dawson Cowan got third star, Berkeley Catton with a goal, and then Sam Oremba with a goal and an assist. Picks up the first star of the game, and the Chiefs fans go home happy on Saturday night. And
Yes,
then
they
the
did.
the boys are right back at it, getting on the bus bright and early on Sunday morning and heading over to Seattle for a 5 o'clock start for their first 3-3 of the year. Uh, did you end up watching any of that game
I
last
didn't.
night?
I did not.
Pretty good game overall. Both teams are being on the back end of their 3-3. Seattle played 3-3 as well.
Hmm.
Uh, Carter Essler got a start in net, and he was fantastic. He made some great saves, and ever since he had that bounce back game against Vancouver, he's really kind of looked like the Carter Essler that we saw at the beginning of the season as
Yeah.
well. So again, we harp on it enough, but it's huge for a young goaltender. So it's nice to see that he's being consistent, and the boys are playing well in front of him still too. First period was I mean, it was all Chiefs from the get-go. They outshot Seattle 11-3 in the first period. Chase Harrington picks up a pair of goals in the period. Um,
Good to see him get some goals because he looked good all weekend.
I think Chase Harrington was the best player on the ice for the Chiefs all weekend long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that the way that his game has developed this year from last year is it's night and day.
Yeah.
And I think that he's definitely next year, maybe a year after, he's going to be our top line guy. I'm really really impressed with what I'm seeing from him this year. Again, like a similar thing with like an Owen Shetler, he's so much more confident in his style of play
Hmm.
and just his game in general this year. So it's great to see stuff like that. And it was another thing that I was thinking of. It's like, going on a winning streak like this, you don't get that from just having your top two lines scoring. You need contributions from every skater on the ice, and the
Right.
Chiefs have been getting that.
Yeah.
I mean, the third line's been could easily be our top line. The fourth line could be our top line.
Hmm.
Papanicus, Sarkey, and Parr, or
Hmm.
whatever. But yeah, it's cool to see. Mathis Preston picked up an assist in the first period on Harrington's first goal, about 2 minutes into the game. And then two short-handed goals for the Chiefs last night.
I didn't know
This
there was two of them. I saw Preston's, but I didn't see the
the
other one.
second Harrington goal was a short-handed breakaway. And then did you see the video of Preston's goal?
Yeah. Did.
Man, that kid's wheels are
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. He turned on the Jets.
And what did I tell you on Saturday night when there was that scrum down at the blue line and you see Preston jumping in and getting
Hmm.
involved, and I just leaned down to you and I said I love this kid's game more and more every single time I watch him get on the
Yeah.
ice. I mean, I mean, elite offensive talent, but it's cool to see a 16-year-old not afraid to go in there and not only defend himself but defend his teammates,
Hmm.
and get in there when he needs to. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that makes a great all-around hockey player too, and that's something that's going to make a lot of NHL teams look at him.
Yeah. Oh, the boys definitely have each other's backs right now.
Yeah, and that's partially a coaching thing too. When
Hmm.
you're confident and happy in the way that the team is and how
Hmm.
the overall morale of the team, it's like you're gonna want to have each other's backs even more.
Oh yeah.
So that was great to see. And then, Yeah, Chiefs picked up their third straight win on the weekend and their ninth straight win overall with a 3-1 win in Seattle. Some good stuff from these guys right now. I'd
Yeah,
love to. I really hope it can continue. They have a whole week off, and then they're right back in Seattle on Friday night. So, um, yeah, fun stuff ahead here.
yeah,
Really liking what I'm seeing. Shea Van Holmes leading the league in goals scored right now.
love it.
Just on an absolute tear, having an unreal first half of the season. Hopefully that continues into the second half as well, because I think he's got the potential to put up 50 if he keeps scoring at this pace.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. Uh, so what were your overall thoughts on the weekend? Just
impressive.
anything overall?
I expect, like I said at the last podcast, I expected a split with Wenatchee. Um, Pleasant that it was not, that we got two wins out of it, and win three in a row on 3-3 is a good way to go, especially for a young team. That takes a lot of mental fortitude as well as the physical part of it too.
Especially in the 3-3s, especially in like the back half on going on Sunday and seeing the 16 and 17-year-olds pretty much carrying the scoring
Mm-hmm.
on the third game of a 3-3 is a
And,
great sign.
and two of those games on the road with this home in the middle. That's a lot of travel too.
Yeah, there's a lot of travel. I mean, Wenatchee's a good 2.5, 3 hours away, and coming
Yeah,
back home and then back over the mountains to Seattle. It's
yeah,
like that can be a lot for these guys, but they're playing the right way and it's paying off for them.
yeah.
The hockey gods are finally back on our side. How great is that?
I like it.
It's just nice watching good hockey.
Yes, it is.
Um, Tri-City lost on Saturday and then they didn't play Sunday, so we picked up 4 points on them, and I believe we're 3 points ahead of them in the standings right now. Let me pull up the Western Conference standings here really quick. We are currently second place overall in the Western Conference, right behind Everett, 9 points behind Everett still. Everett's kind of just on an unreal tear this
Yeah,
season as well. They're 24, 3, 2, and 1, which is
only three losses. Holy cow!
only three regulation losses for Everett this year. Pretty crazy stuff,
Yeah. Wow.
uh, but yeah, the Chiefs are 21, 9 and 0, and 42 points. Third place. It says third place. We have 7 more points than Prince George, but it's showing them ahead of us in the standings. I'm assuming that's just because they're leading the BC.
Probably.
But second place in the U.S. division for sure. And yeah, 4 points ahead of Tri Cities right now. So if they can continue it at this pace, I'd like to see us stay ahead of Tri Cities. Got a game coming up against them. I think the second or third game of the second half of the season, down the New Year's Eve game in Tri Cities. So that's going to be a huge game. And but yeah, I mean overall, it's so fun to watch these guys play good hockey right now
Yeah, it
and
is.
seeing them having fun out there too. Oh yeah, we have another home and home with Wenatchee to start the second half. So fun stuff ahead here.
Are you looking to improve your golf game in 2025? Look no further than Golf by Gun. Golf by Gun specializes in individual lessons, small group sessions for 2 to 3 people, and even corporate events to enhance your networking skills on the green. In addition, couples golf lessons are a perfect way to bond with your partner while mastering your swings together. Here's an exclusive offer for our listeners. If you mention Chiefs Central, you will get $10 off your first lesson. That's right, $10 off your first lesson. Take your game to new heights and enjoy the sport you love even more. Follow Golf by Gun on Instagram and Facebook for tips and updates, or reach out via email at golfbygun@gmail.com. See you on the course.
Took some questions again on the Facebook group today.
Nice.
Forgot to post it on Instagram, but like I said, that's just because
That's
I
all
was
right.
busy as hell driving around all day.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Do you guys think the Chiefs will make any more trades before the deadline? We just kind of touched on it a little bit ago too.
Something will happen, but I don't know what it would be.
I still think that we have too many forwards, even with, a couple guys being out injured. And Catton going off to World Juniors now. His last game with us before World Junior Camp was last night, so
Yeah.
he's not going to play anymore the first half of the season with us because obviously he is going to make the team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, no need to sugarcoat that, but I I I still would like to see us maybe put together a package for a solid puck moving defenseman. I still think that's the one thing in our overall game that can kind of bite us in the ass is getting the puck out of the defensive zone.
Hmm.
Uh, Not, our penalty kill has been good. We don't have any issues with that, but when we're trying to, set up a breakout to get up the ice, I still think that that's kind of an issue. So
Hmm.
I think having a puck moving defenseman, again, like a Noah King, Nolan Reed style player,
Hmm.
guys that we've made moves for in the past, I think would be really beneficial for us. And that kind of ties into what Kent Bremner said. He asked, "What's it going to take to get Sawyer Minio in Spokane?" And I was thinking about that. That was a name that I hadn't really thought of, but he's a NHL drafted guy going off to the World Juniors as well. Seattle's toward the bottom of the conference.
Hmm.
They're gonna want to maybe capitalize on making a move and trying to build their team back up for the future.
Right.
Um, I think Minio could be a pretty good fit in Spokane, to be
Boy, wouldn't
completely
that be
honest
something?
with you. Um, I, it, I don't know why, but I never thought about
Yeah.
that. But Seattle's having another downer years as was expected, and he's one of their top guys
Yeah.
and a leader on their team too. So I think that picking up a guy like that, if your team is playing as well as we are, could be really, really beneficial for us. And I mean, I'm sure some of the boys already know him.
Oh yeah.
Oremba played with him in Seattle, and I think that would be a great pickup for
Yeah.
them.
That'd be amazing. I never even thought about him either.
I didn't either. I'm gonna look up his stats really quick here. Yeah, oh 05 born, 19-year-old defenseman, exactly kind of what I was
Hmm.
saying, pick up a 19-year-old puck moving defenseman. Um, Drafted third round, 89th overall by Vancouver, and he is signed to an NHL deal with them. Um, this year with the T-Birds, 5 goals and 14 assists in 18 games on the blue line. So I mean that's pretty huge. Played a game in the AHL with Abbotsford last year after the T-Bird season ended.
Hmm.
So he's got a little bit of pro experience already. Had a great season last year, 16
Yeah. He
goals and
did.
37 assists in 63 games. Um, just an all-around great guy, and he's got plenty of playoff experience with Seattle. He
Hmm.
won the WHL title with them,
Right.
and I think that's a great pick. Again, I'm just flabbergasted with myself that I never thought about that, but I think that would really pay off in dividends for these guys. So yeah, I'd like to see that move, but other than that, I don't really know. Besides maybe shipping off a player for a draft pick or two here and there, with the amount of forwards that we do have.
Yeah.
But to add on to that, we did see Matthew Edwards in the lineup on Sunday.
Hmm.
He played on the fourth line, and I thought that he looked really good, and he played his role nicely and was out there with God, who did he play with? He played with Poppy and Harris on the fourth line. So good to see him get back out there. I still feel like he's obviously not going to get any consistent playing time, so I think that might be a guy that you could kind of try to ship off somewhere or whatever. But if you were to put together a package with a player, two, and then two or three draft picks to Seattle and get Sawyer Minio, I think that that's a deal that's worth it because then
Yeah.
you're gonna I mean, don't know if you'd have him next year being NHL signed already and being eligible to play in the AHL, but I still think if you're confident enough in your team this year, I don't see why you wouldn't try to make that
Yeah.
move.
It'll be interesting to see what happens as we get close to the trade deadline for sure.
So there's those two. Let's see. We got a question here. It says, why does no one stand up? This is a fan related question. Why does no one stand up when the boys come into the arena and cheer them on? These boys have won 9 games in a row. We need to be proud of them and show it every time. We have been to 4 other arenas this year. Smaller, yes, but they are louder than us.
Hmm.
So that's something that I was also thinking that we needed to do for a long time. I like our goal horn, but I think it needs to be louder.
It does need to
I
be
think
loud.
we need to make it louder. I think we need to make the goal song louder. And Yeah, I mean, obviously the arena is huge, and I feel like the crowd's pretty into it most of the time.
They
But
are.
yeah, I think more so that's just, a lot of the other rinks in the league are smaller and echo more, and they're older and
But
older
yeah,
buildings and stuff too. Like, you go down to Tri-City, that only holds like
that
what,
place is loud.
5 or 6 thousand, and it's just it echoes in there, and
Yeah.
it's loud as hell. But their goal horn is loud as hell.
Yes.
I think that we need to get a goal horn like that and get that arena rocking, and maybe that would change some of that a little bit too.
Well, maybe we're onto something too, because for the first time in a long time that I've noticed on Saturday night, they did not play Sweet Caroline. So maybe they're onto something.
Yeah, that God, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I again, I think that's just kind of most of the other rinks being small. So, um, but yeah, I agree. I mean, they're playing great right now, and we are proud of them.
Yes, we are.
I would say that, like, I can't stop talking and how highly about how good they are playing right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So. Andrew asks, "Who's the best referee in the WHL?" Guzzo. I no comment on that.
Yeah.
I haven't been too impressed with any officiating this year, personally.
No, no.
I mean, if want to talk years past, if we talk, old referees, and even modern referees, I can only think of ones that stand out because they're bad, not because they were good
Right.
and called a
Right.
good game. Um, Obviously, we have some local linesmen in Carruthers and Guzzo too. Guzzo's pretty hit or miss. Um, I don't think the Carruthers brothers are doing a bad job. I
Not at
think
all.
they're doing fine. Referee wise, I just do not want to see the Coop brothers back in Spokane because
No, that was a bad weekend.
they were not good. God, do you remember Sean Raphael?
Raphael. Yeah.
Raphael's brutal.
Yeah.
Matt Kirk, do you remember that one?
You remember him?
That was a brutal one. I'm trying to think of Trevor Nolan's pretty brutal too.
Yes. He likes to
Um,
take charge.
yeah, and then yeah, I
Who's the
don't know. Those are just
who's
kind of
the converted linesman that's now been refereed the last 2 years too?
Albanati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not been bad as a referee in all honesty.
I don't think yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that I've noticed him too much, which is honestly a good thing if you're not
Yeah.
noticing the officials. So
Yeah.
um we could talk about we didn't see it, but everybody in our section was talking about when Guzzo came out for warm-ups on Saturday night, he bit the dust twice
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
because he left his skate guards on.
Yeah.
Bit it once, hit in the ice, got up, and then tried to skate and bit it again without realizing his skate guards on. Man, I wish I could have seen
I
that.
wish I'd have seen that one too.
I mean, we got there with about 9 or 10 minutes left in the warm-ups, but yeah, I would have killed to see that
Yeah,
because,
that would have been good.
like I said, couldn't happen to a better guy. um, Matt asked us not a question. He says not a question, but he also asked us a question.
No, okay.
Have you noticed how before a face-off this year, the boys don't stand up and bang their sticks on the boards? And I feel like I've seen it a couple of times. I feel like they do it pre-game or like before the opening face-off of the game, but I don't think they do it, any other periods anymore. Just wonder if that's just something the coach doesn't want them
I'm
to
sure it is.
do, which is fine by me if they're going to continue to play the way they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
So,
noticed it. I noticed it on not Saturday night, but the game before that at home. I noticed that on last Sunday. I guess I noticed that they didn't do that.
hmm yeah. So yeah, that's all the questions we got this week. I think some good conversation and good questions in there, and
Yeah, and we got something special. Maybe we got a little roundtable discussion about the midway point of the season coming up later this week. Maybe
a roundtable discussion. Yes, a special midweek episode, probably either coming out Wednesday night or on Thursday.
got a couple of guests coming on to do a roundtable discussion on the first half of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fun one that I've been wanting to get for a while since we started the pod, and
Yeah, I'm glad
uh,
we were able to arrange it. That was pretty cool.
yeah, me too. I think that we'll get some good insight from our guests, and we'll see. what he has to say about, how the boys are playing right now, and maybe talk about just some old Chiefs hockey and everything too. So I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be a blast.
Yeah, so that'll be coming out, like I said, either Wednesday night or Thursday, depending on how late we run on Wednesday night, because I
Nice.
do still work at 7:30 on Thursday. So we'll see if I feel up to putting it up on Wednesday night, or if I'll wait till Thursday or so. But
Perfect.
got another big weekend ahead here. Game against Seattle on Friday, and then a home game against PG on Saturday. Get to see Cooper Michael back in Spokane.
That's right. That'll be nice. Hopefully he's in.
Um, what's that?
Hopefully he's in net.
I wouldn't be shocked if he was.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
So yeah, some big games this weekend. Chiefs going for their 10th win in a row on Friday night, and
Pretty cool.
fingers crossed, right?
There you go.
All right. Well, till Wednesday night.
All right. Till Wednesday night.
All right, go Chiefs, baby.
Let's go.